We are officially at 10 gigabytes of RAM. And it keeps going up. It keeps going up. Oh yes. Bounty of 1 is a game we have broken to its absolute limits in every single stat that you can see over here. We have maxed out area beyond the spawn of the enemies. We have maxed out cooldown to a 1% limit. So something that usually takes 100 seconds only takes 1 second. We have maxed out damage to E values, so when they get so long they have to be scientifically shortened, and we have maxed out attack speed to a value that the game simply can't do. But there's one more thing that we can achieve, but for this we may have to reset a couple of times. The game limits your attack speed to roughly 10 a second to balance out that it doesn't get too crazy. Oh, that's bad. And whenever we reroll right now, all that we have rolled gets saved. So what we have seen before can't appear again. And the moment we banish this button here, all of those things are just gone. So if I now click banish, we can go for one more, but that's very risky. The moment we click banish, everything we have seen in this run is just gone. And all of a sudden we see red. What is that? That is mythical. So if we go for attack speed, for example, you can see over here we have 1.26 attack speed. We just went up by 0.9. And this is what we really want, so I will roll for that. And now we always gain +2 choices every single time we level up. And also for objects. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this completely insane, right? We go for attack speed. Now, if we have done all of the extreme things, what is the plan for today with the new character Mitchel? And look at the damage, by the way, 60, 105, 45 bonus damage. What do we do with Mitchel, the new character in the game? Quite simple. The character spawns mushrooms around us. So you may notice on the floor there are mushrooms that spawn, up to 10 of them, and they shoot projectiles. And that is what this will be about. If you have a limit of projectiles based on your attack speed and you can't go higher, then what if you just go for more projectiles until the game crashes? Let's take the game to its extremes. And that is the goal for today. We will take the game to its extremes just by getting a ridiculous amount of projectiles. Now, just for you to understand how dedicated I am, I have an Excel sheet next to me with every single upgrade that I want to have. Here I don't want to have anything, so what I'll do is I'll banish those. This one is not bad. I will take the one bonus choice out of chest because this will make banishes easier. Usually you want to roll first, but the unlucky thing that can happen is you roll to banish more, but then you get what you want. And that means you pretty much wasted the reroll for the banish. Let's go for attack speed. And let's also go for more crit damage. And this is the special ability of Mitchel, the fungal blaster. Spawn a mushroom turret while standing still. All mushrooms together match your attack speed. But your attack speed is also reduced and you can have a maximum of 10 mushrooms. And once we achieve that, that is the equivalent of having 11 characters on the stage. 11 characters. I just can't get tired of this. What is that dude doing over there? One of the goals is to max out crit, but there's also an object that you get out of the chest that gives you 40% crit. Meaning we would be at 95% and then it removes the crit out of the level up, so you can still get it from objects. But I would say because that exists, we will just ignore crit right now and then we'll take it when we see it because our level ups become slightly better. I would also say, do we go for bounce? I don't know if we care. You know what? I go for more attack speed. We have 5 shots per second already. Our current HP is also high enough at 11 that we don't have to scale that up. Today the goal is not to go for big projectiles. We want to have tiny projectiles that are insanely slow. The slowest you can have in the game. And they just travel over the stage. This may not make a lot of sense right now what I'm talking about, but you'll see in the future it makes sense. Okay, I will go for more HP here because we didn't have damage, we didn't have attack speed, but this is why we need to get rid of crit, because then we always have either damage or attack speed. Okay, that is insane. We have one bonus option here, but even here, we don't have damage or attack speed. I will go for... What is... The little mushroom is having a party over there. Let's go for the crit damage multiplier. So we have 700%. We probably one-shot Yeah, we just one-shot the guy. Now, in case this isn't obvious, this strategy is completely broken, but we will build this up step by step. So it will take a while. I will take the bonus damage, even though this doesn't really belong to the build, but it just means we deal more damage. Like, all of the damage I pick up gets multiplied, and that is quite powerful. Like, there are mandatory objects we want to have to maximize this stupid idea, but at the same time, there are also objects that are just nice to have, like a revival, for example. If something goes wrong, we will just get back to life. Now, I don't think we need that, but I just wanted to make a point. More attack speed, 8.46. We shoot 8.46. Now, if you pay attention to the mushrooms, you'll notice, oh, they are actually quite slow. Even the guy over here on the right side that is close to the enemies, he takes a very long time, because 8.4 divided by 10 is only 0.84 per second. That is not a lot. So we need a lot more attack speed. Let's go for damage here. So ironically, even though I really didn't do a clean job on the banishes in the beginning, where we rerolled into banishes, it actually turns out we banished almost everything I wanted to get rid of, and there are just no legendaries, the yellow ones. We only have the best ones in the entire game. So we roll for attack speed. You know what? I'll just do that, because we have no use for it. And now you see the leftovers that are still there on level up, so there's quite a bit more. But once you have all of them used, you just gain a little bit of damage. So we don't want that, but we can roll for attack speed. And now we're at 9.36. The moment we hit 10, all of our mushrooms shoot once a second, which is the equivalent of us. But the moment we go beyond that, our mushrooms keep scaling up, but we don't. So even though this is usually the limit in the game, where the game is like, dude, it's way too much, please calm down, we just say, I don't care. We really say, I don't care. Do you see how low the rarity of the stuff is that we got here? And then there's one beautiful one over there. This one gives us one additional choice for upgrades and objects. Yes, we just got that. Wait, these have been our upgrades in this game. That is ridiculous. Remember the red card that we got on a level up that gives us 2 bonus options at upgrades and on objects? Yes, that is the same thing, but as an object, so not a level up choice. And all of a sudden, we have a ridiculous amount of offers, and we are pretty much guaranteed to always get either damage, crit damage, or attack speed. Currently, we are halfway through the first day. There are a total of 3 days, but then you can go into endless mode to fine-tune your build, which we'll obviously do. And at this point, we are so broken that we shoot 12 projectiles each second at 200 damage, and when we crit half of the time, we deal 7 times the normal damage. So usually we deal 200 damage, but when we crit, it's 1570. Gain 1 object reroll, gain 2 object rerolls each time you skip. That is actually good. I will take that. So the only things we want to skip are chests, because they are pretty much infinite as the bosses keep on spawning, but the level ups are insanely limited, so there we only want to take the best stuff. And here is one of the best augments for us in the entire game. It doesn't look like it, but instead of aiming at the closest enemy, we alternate between the 5 closest enemies. Our projectiles are slower, but your attack speed is higher. So if your goal is to shoot as many projectiles as possible, you don't want them to leave the screen, right? You want them to travel slowly. And this just halved our movement speed of the projectiles while shooting more of the projectiles, and we are now at 18 per second. So I would say even more attack speed. We now have 19.4. And this is the first upgrade as an attack speed multiplier, like the first object, and there are way more of that. Now, I'm not saying that my Excel list is perfect. I may have missed something, so I will always read through them. The most valuable ones are those that slow down the projectile speed, because this is the easiest way to multiply how much you have. But what is like the biggest problem? If you've never played this game, okay, you don't know the objects, and you look at this, what is the biggest problem? We shoot at the enemies, and then the projectiles just disappear. So we need peers, that is a given, but once they die, the projectiles leave the screen. So we need objects that do something when they would usually disappear out of the screen. And that is the next goal. Okay, there's the first boss. Let's see what we can do against him. So, any questions if we are overpowered or not? There's more attack speed. We have now 20.1. We have now 22. Oh my god, this is beautiful. So funny enough, we actually don't care about any of these a lot. But I think we definitely want to have this one, the piggy bank, whenever we skip a choice. So for example, a chest, which we do often if we don't get anything we want. Then we can instead get upgrade rerolls. Why are they important though? Well, let's say we don't get damage, we don't get attack speed, and attack speed is the main focus, so that's even more important than damage. Then we need to reroll. If we don't have that, we pretty much waste a level up. Like, yes, we become stronger, but we don't need to become stronger. We want to become ridiculous. Just as a reminder, this is not about the most DPS ever possible. This is about literally breaking the game. That we get to a point that we have like 1 FPS or the game even crashes because there's so many projectiles on the stage that everything is just, it's gone. It's too much for the game. It doesn't know how to deal with it. So instead of wasting a level up, we can simply use the rerolls to make sure we get exactly what we want. And what we want is the game to crash. Gain 40% crit chance, but crit chance upgrades can no longer appear. We have 95% crit. And now our level ups. Okay, that is ironic that we don't get attack speed here, but I will just reroll. And there it is. Now on level ups, you can get lucky and you just get 1 bonus upgrade. I think what we just saw was with 1 bonus upgrade. So on a regular level up without that, we would be missing out on 3 potential upgrades. But we see like 6 or 7 of them. I don't know how much it is exactly, but the odds are in our favor that we will always see attack speed. And there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 options on our high roll. Wait, what? That is so much. That is ridiculous. Wait, I think the last one where I thought it was the high roll, that wasn't a high roll. That was a low roll where we didn't get the bonus. Well, here we have more rerolls for object choices, and this is quite valuable. So we will go for this one, but regarding the size of the projectiles, I do believe if your projectile is ginormous, let's say half the screen, and an enemy spawns, all of the projectiles that could hit the enemy area-wise will hit the enemy. Even if the first one one-shots the enemy, all of them will get wasted. And that is the reason why I want to avoid it. Now maybe the game is smart enough to determine, hey, the enemy got hit by 10 projectiles, but 1 kills the enemy, so only 1 gets destroyed. But I don't know that, so let's just not trust it. Let's just go for the safest route with 27 projectiles a second. Now if you count the character projectiles, you'll notice, wait a second, you don't actually shoot 27 projectiles a second. He doesn't do it. It's like maybe 15, maybe 10 is wrong, but it could be 15. But the point is, over 1 second, that is not 27. But our mushrooms, they keep becoming faster. They are now shooting 2.7 projectiles a second. Does that mean our only goal is to increase our attack speed to 100 and that's it? No. There are objects that multiply your projectiles. For example, you lose damage, but you shoot out multiple projectiles. You shoot backwards. Projectile bounce. There is a lot in the game to make projectiles last a lot longer than what they should. All of these can get banished. Now we could reroll and gamble that the next one also has nothing we want, but why do it? Let's just banish right now and get new banishes out of these objects. Now here we have 2 of the worst upgrades for this run. Projectiles move 20% faster, and over here projectiles move 10% faster. We don't want that. Instead we will pick up this little dude. He is very slow, but he will just walk around, get all of the experience for me, so I don't have to do that anymore. Even more attack speed. 30 shots a second. Again, our character didn't get faster. But if you pay close attention to the mushrooms, you'll notice. Wait a second. As long as there are enemies in shooting distance of them, they shoot ridiculously fast because now it's 3 per second. Now in case you're saying, Dex, isn't this completely unfair what you're doing to the enemies? Isn't this broken? Should this really be like this? Well, we are making a use of a reroll banish glitch that we actually figured out on this channel. Like it was me that figured that out. And the developers wrote me and they were like, huh. We didn't know that's a thing. We saw the glitch in your video and now we don't know if we should remove it or if we should keep it. But you know what? If you get to this point, because you need a lot of upgrades in the game, you pretty much need to finish the game to get all of the rerolls necessary and the banishes, and you need to unlock the mythical upgrades, which usually don't exist in the game. You know what? If you did that, go crazy. And I respect that so much that they allow people to just have infinite fun with crazy things, because that's me. I am crazy. Well, okay, I would say I'm a reasonable person, you know, but in games, I'm crazy. The level up requirement goes up so much, I don't think this actually makes a difference, but I will take it. Which means we have an instant level up, we go for more attack speed, you saw that right. But right now it seems like we are about to get the 100 attack speed. Like just a few more upgrades, maybe an object that gives us a multiplier of 50% and we are there. Wrong. There are so many upgrades in the game that halve your attack speed or remove 30%, and we need to take every single one of them. Now here we could skip, and the strategy behind that is we have 2 rolls, so in the future we guarantee 2 times when we don't get attack speed to roll into attack speed. But I think it's also important to make sure we have enough damage. So because we have so much crit damage, I will go for more base damage, which was quite a bit. We just gained 52 base damage and we have 380 in total. The reason this matters a lot is that this will be quite a long run to make sure we get all of the objects in the game, and if we just die, because yeah, sure, we may shoot around a huge amount of projectiles, but they just don't deal damage, then that would be horrible. There's the next boss fight. I would say we'll just stand still. Our mushrooms are spawning because we stand still, and now we shoot at the boss, and that was it. That was the second boss. That's how fast we just killed him. Yeah. Oh my god. So we have 2 very good upgrades here and we have to make a decision. Either we triple our shots, so we shoot 3 times the amount of bullets, but we reduce our attack speed by 40%, or we divide our attack speed by 2, so minus 50%, but we have a turret that also shoots bullets. So there are 2 top tier upgrades to get more bullets on the screen, but this one obviously we have to take that. The issue with the turret is it usually sits right on top of you and aims at exactly the same enemies that you aim at, so it's kind of wasted. And this one here, okay, already decreases my FPS in the game. Okay, so what I'll do is I will go for more crit damage because that's the biggest multiplier right now. But I really hope we get more attack speed because we are down to 20. We used to be above 30. Since we know we will get an infinite amount of chests, like they just keep spawning, and there's no change in how fast that happens, there is actually an option that I just say, reroll upgrade choices. Okay, we have the turret here, but you know what? I will actually go for that to make sure that we get as much attack speed as possible, because our level ups will be limited. At one point, it will take like more than 10-20 minutes to get a single level up, and that is the only way to increase our base attack speed, what all of the multipliers are based on, and we have to make sure that number is as high as possible. So if I get a lot of level ups without attack speed, like here, perfect example, that is horrible. Instead we roll, and now we still got attack speed, and it's just a little bit less than what we used to get, but we are still at 21 shots. There's another chest. Where did you come from? Okay. I may even skip this just for the reroll upgrade. You know what, I'll do that. Isn't this beautiful? We still have 100 FPS right now. From time to time I will make an update and tell you how much FPS we have. But usually it's 144 that I have in this game, because that's my monitor. And right now we are at 99, so it's lower, but more than enough to be fluent. Yet again, all of these are completely horrible, so I will just skip the choices. And the funny thing is, once we have enough object rerolls, we can actually force in the best upgrades of the game, because the game always saves whatever you rerolled, and then only gives you new stuff. Now you may wonder, Dex, don't you have a lot of time to do all of this? Well, usually in a game you reach around level 60. Okay, so we only have 16 more level ups, and then we are pretty much done. We will still occasionally level up, but it's so rare that it pretty much has no impact on the game, which means I have to make sure every level up is bonus attack speed. When you stand still, you build up your attack speed. Okay, but here we have 2 object banishes. You know what? I will go for this, and we will use this in a very smart way. So, because we have so many rolls, right? Every time we pick up a chest and we don't want it, we get 2 bonus rolls. We will just look for an object chest that has nothing at all that we want. Then we will roll it, which gives the game a chance to give us something good that we want. But if not, then we can banish that, and we just banished like 15 objects at the same time. I do believe once all of the objects are out of the way, the object chest will also just give you +5 damage. So that would be a way to infinitely scale, but we assume when all of the objects are gone, we achieved our goal. And this is the final boss, by the way. This is the final boss. Down there is his HP. Not the fastest kill we've ever done. But ridiculously fast. And now, let's check out the chest. This is a rare chest that mostly has purples and legendaries. And there are actually a lot of them that we want. We want to shoot behind us to double our projectiles. But more importantly, your projectiles now bounce off the edge of the screen 2 times. There's also bonus attack speed we build up over time, but I would say we get the legendary out of the way because this one will just be normal chests eventually. And this means we just extended the lifespan of our projectiles by roughly 2 to 3 times. Like if it goes into a corner, bounces against the other corner, you know, that's not really doubling the lifespan because that happens in a split second. But if it goes straight to the left side and then to the right side, we actually triple the lifespan because before it only traveled half a screen, but to get across the entire screen, it's double the amount. And then it also goes back again. So the total lifespan of that projectile is actually, I think 250%, right? Like half the screen is 50% of the lifespan and then 2 full screens is 100%. So 250%. What do we have in here? We have bonus attack speed. Maybe I should actually take that. I'm getting concerned we may not reach the cap. And realizing that after I banished it would be horrible, so I will just pick it up. 30 FPS. We got 1 object that is really good of this entire thing. Well, actually we got 2 of them, right? The triple shot as well. But now we are only at 30 FPS. I'm actually getting concerned right now that the game may slow down so much before we even get to all of the things that I want. But I can't change that. Like, I can't say I skip out on the attack speed level ups because we have to use our level ups the moment it happens. What a shame that you break a game too much that it can't keep up with you, huh? 40% bonus attack speed, but our attacks are less precise. Funny enough, actually good. Not only did we get 11 attacks per second, but one issue is you will shoot all of your projectiles at one enemy, but the first one kills them, so all of the future projectiles after that go into nothingness, unless there's another enemy behind that. But now, because we are not precise, it spreads out more. And you may notice on our screen, we are down to... We just had 10 FPS. Okay, but we are down to 20 FPS. I think that was the level up. So we have 20 FPS right now, just because we got this 1 attack speed upgrade. One thing I will do is I will disable the inflicted damage because this usually helps quite a bit to make sure the game doesn't just lag out entirely. But don't expect too much as well. Like, I'll take a look at the numbers, but I don't think it does all too much. This would be a perfect banish, but we need this. Slows enemies' projectiles and area around you, and as far as I recall, this also slows down your own projectiles. Okay, we don't really get to see that because it's tiny. Is it worth to invest into area to make this bigger, to slow down our projectiles just to amass them on top of our character where we shoot them from, but also when they bounce back, they go through the field again, which means they live for longer. This means we have to sacrifice attack speed, but you know what? Let's do that for a little bit. Oh, wow. We have 2 upgrade banishes, but we lose 1 choice. Okay. I'm not the biggest fan of this. But what we can do is, when we only get things we don't care about, like let's say there's no attack speed, there's no damage, there's no crit damage, I may just banish that to guarantee we always get what we want. That also means I need to pick up area. Yeah, this is a banish we can't do. We have all of the best ones in here. So let's just go for more attack speed. We just exceeded 40 shots per second, which means our mushrooms are the equivalent of 4 additional characters on the stage. And before you think the mushrooms may be capped to the attack speed the character has, look at how fast they attack. They have different projectiles. They look like a little plane, like a little bird flying around. And you may notice on the screen, most of the projectiles are actually these little birds. But there are way more things to turn this way more insane. We found one of them. So over here, your projectiles leaving the screen. So first they do 2 bounces, right? And then they would leave the screen. But now they will revisit the screen again, like just on the other side of the screen. They pop back in like in Portal, when you have 2 portals that are linked to each other. And that means they live for a lot longer. And we still have 1 upgrade that heavily reduces our projectile speed. Oh my god, there's so much experience on the floor. I didn't even notice that our little dude is doing nothing. But more area also means I could actually banish this. That means we lose damage. No, I can't do that. I need the damage scaling in the future. Increase attack speed per enemy. But listen, there will never be a lot of enemies on the screen. I will actually roll. 9! This is bonus attack speed. I need that. Okay, we will lock this in. You know, it's also not bad, right? We need to get this out of the way. This will take 6 minutes in total. Well, it's multiplied with our cooldown, but we only have 90% cooldown right now. So yes, we lose 10% of what we need, but in other games we had 1% cooldown, so it was just done immediately. In other words, I have to be careful that I don't get hit by enemy projectiles or just walking into them, but then again, look at my screen. I'm walking around without the mushrooms, and there are still so many projectiles bouncing around. Okay, there's the next boss. Oh god! Do I actually have a damage issue? Okay, I don't need you. I don't need you. Oh, you would actually be an insane way to scale up our damage as a percentage. And then I just go for Pierce. Or we roll. Oh, did I banish the damage increase? Wait a second, I don't think I banished it. I could be wrong, but I just rewatched the footage. So it should be in the game, which means we will use all of our dashes at once, which is not a lot. Okay, we don't need more though. We have 3 dashes. And then there is an object in the game that deals 1 damage to you whenever we dash. So 3 times dashes in a row deal 3 damage to us, but at the same time we gain 15 base damage. And currently, if we check our inventory, we multiply our damage by 115%. Oh yeah, and our attack speed actually gets reduced when we take that right now. So we really need to get the bonuses in. I'm not even sure if there are any bonuses left. So good luck, Dex. Let's get more attack speed. We have 35. It's not like the level ups that take longer. I just got hit by the dude. Okay, I need bonus damage. Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Gain 1 dash for every pierce you have. That would actually benefit us if I want to go for more pierces. You know what? Oh, you will give us a sheriff chest? Let's do that first, because this is a legendary chest that you only get from sheriffs, and they don't spawn anymore. There are only 3 sheriffs in the game. But we will get a legendary chest that will guarantee that we get like a purple or a legendary item. Okay, we are down to 16 FPS. It is in the game. It's still in the game. So look at our damage, 380, right? I said we get 15 damage, but damage multiplier. Look at this. We got 17. Okay, that's actually not that much. Yeah, we don't have a lot of damage multipliers is the issue, but hey, we have the dashes again, so I can just dash, and we keep doing this to multiply our damage only to a point where we become strong enough that we don't have any issues. Like, this would be a perfect banish, but maybe there's a conversion of bounces into something. I only know pierces into % damage, but maybe there's something that says, ooh, also take your bounces and get pierces. Wait, that makes no sense. That would be an infinite loop. Right. Okay, we need more area. I want to make the field bigger. Do the projectiles get slowed down? I know the thing says enemy projectiles, but I swear in the past it slowed them down. The entire screen is just projectiles if I stand still. Like, the mushrooms start spawning when we stand still. And they start shooting, and I can't see anything anymore. Oh, one funny thing is, when I dash and take damage, I reset the counter. Your projectiles are 30% slower. That is the other checkpoint that we needed. So now take a look at how slow the projectiles are. Do you see that? How slow they fly? And that means we keep them longer on the screen. And that means we have 10 FPS. We have 10 FPS right now. We have 9 FPS. We still have a lot of upgrades left in the game. Okay, maybe this wasn't good, because I'm slowing down the game like crazy. And I need the game to work to get all of the upgrades. They are still there because they travel with me. Oh, this is not good. Oh, this is really not good. I could be wrong, but I don't think the aura actually slows down my projectiles. As I said, we have seen this in past videos where this happened, and I got really confused by it, why that's a thing, because it says enemy projectiles. But it looks like they fixed that, or I just don't see it. Like, when I walk with the projectiles, they are not slower than any other projectiles on the entire screen. Wait. That is a banish. Because I can build up infinite damage now. I don't need this anymore. But do I want to have dash? No. I want to have pierces and they're not in here. And the insane thing about this is this gives us a % bonus damage. So if we take this, we don't have the item yet. Well, but once we get it, and the insanity about that is we multiply the 5 damage we get every single time we dash by the percentage amount on our character. What is this? Enemies drop more experience, right? Yeah, twice the coins, but I honestly don't really care. You know what? I'll banish that. Over here, we convert our pierces into dashes. And again, if we want to build up dashes to get more damage, this is actually quite good. So we have 7 dashes now, meaning if I dash, we gain 7 times the effect of the +5 damage, which right now is actually +7 damage. Yeah, look at this. The guy survives way too long. Like, we need to build up our damage. I have no choice. Heal whenever you dash. This will increase the cooldown of it, but it also means, instead of taking damage, we just heal it up again. I wonder if I should just wait until we get the permanent bonus attack speed from the one effect that gives us 10%, but yeah, okay, well, I'll just dash now that I took damage. And the dude is dead. Hey, listen, if I stand still and have the mushrooms next to me, they would die in seconds, but we can't really do that. I don't think I need any of these. I will just roll. Please don't have something useful in you. We don't need any of these. Banish. And there it is. +5% damage for every pierce you have. So currently we have 718 damage. Now we have 900 damage. Remember how we had 115% damage scaling? 172. So 20% bonus damage permanently. We just went to 1170 damage. This may confuse you because we already had a lot of bonus damage, right? So why is it so much all of a sudden? Just 20%. The reason is a lot of these things are multiplicative. They work on different layers in the formula, and this is one that is like a top level. So this always multiplies all of the past bonuses you got. You know what? We will go for this one. A random thing on a level up in a chest gives us 4% bonus damage. That doesn't mean I will always take it. Oh my god, what is going on? Right, I was with the mushrooms. I shouldn't do this. I need to stay away until we are ready to face true chaos. But this upgrade pretty much means if we land on attack speed, or if we have like an object that we open and there's nothing in there we care about and I can just take something out of the pool so it doesn't appear again, then I will just take the one with the bonus damage for a small bonus. Oh, there's a boss. Oh, there was a boss. Did you see how fast we killed him though? We are catching up with them again. Oh my god, okay. I mean, I don't really care about you, but I care about you a little bit. Okay, so this one fires projectiles every 5 seconds. It's 4.5 because of our reduction, but because I never intend to go for cooldown, I don't even think we have it left. I will ignore it for now, but the ultimate goal is we even go for that one. Like, even though it's so bad in comparison to what we are doing as the character, it still means bonus projectiles, right? So we want to have all of them. We still haven't finished the attack speed bonus, by the way. Okay, you know what? I will just let it run full. I think we are actually on the first one out of 3. Even though we barely shoot at all, we still go down to 20 FPS. And there are no mushrooms around me. Like, we don't permanently shoot, there are no mushrooms around me. Just wait until they are... You know what? I'll just stand still for a moment. Okay. It's getting way too laggy. Help me. I need to leave. Listen, one very big downside in this game is when the game crashes, I can't go back into it. That was just it. And that is why I'm so careful to not... Okay, we have a couple of very insane things here. This is probably the one I'll take. Shoot 4 times as fast, deal 3 times less damage. We will still divide our attack speed, by the way. This is a triple shot when we hit an enemy. This is another turret, but we go for 4 times as fast. Now, we had 150 shots, okay? You would say that's great. Alter Schwede, scheiße. My mushrooms, they are still there. Oh god, no, don't crash. Okay, we're away from the mushrooms. Just don't stand still. Then they don't spawn. But yeah, the real issue is the game, if it crashes, we are out of the game. That was it. And first, I want to go to the utmost extremes. I want to have every single upgrade I've written down in my Excel sheet. And then we will stand still and shoot. There's the next boss. Please tell me you have enough damage for you, because otherwise that means I need to do something. Yeah, once we hit him, we have enough damage. But until then, it's not a lot. Let's just go for this one, okay? So when I stand still, which again is nothing I want to do, every 5 or 4.5 seconds, we will generate a bunch of projectiles around us, which won't matter until we get to the point where we use the mushrooms and stand still. But then it's also there. Okay, but you just like to really give me all of the stuff I don't care about. Wow, that's insane. Let's roll. Okay, there's still nothing in here. We could go for the aura, but we don't care. Okay, so we have a couple of insane things here. This is probably one of the toughest one that we can take. It spins around us, and it just shoots projectiles at our current attack speed. Okay, we can't take that right now. That is worse than a mushroom. We will take this turret because it divides our attack speed. Well, but we are still at a cap, right? So the turret is also at a cap. We are now at 10 FPS. We don't have a single mushroom around us. We are at 10 FPS just because of the stupid turret. You know what's worse? There's another turret. Do you see my vision now? Do you understand now what I wanted to achieve with this run? What is this army of projectiles behind me? And you see, with like what the projectiles look like, these are the turret projectiles because we have mushrooms. And our mushrooms, they shoot birds for whatever reason, or planes, like paper planes. Another level up. Okay, we don't need movement. I could banish them again. We'll not do that. Do we go for more attack speed? Yeah, let's do it. Okay, that was still 2 attack speed that we just got out of that. Wait, that is ridiculous. Come on, you're about to be finished. I can smell it. Okay, I have to pay attention to the enemies. I'm constantly looking at it, but if I run into one enemy or a bullet, it's done. There's one more. Okay. There. That's cool. Oh no. So now when we hit enemies, our projectile splits up into 3 projectiles. Yes, they also do 1/3 of the damage pretty much. But in other words, if all of them hit, it doubles the damage of our projectiles, but we are not after doubling. We don't have a lot of base damage, so we actually multi-hit enemies most of the time. For us, this means we have a lot more projectiles on the screen. And this is what I'm after. And that's also why I don't like to dash too much. We want to stay weak. As stupid as that sounds. Let's load on the enemies, okay? Maybe this helps me out to not get hit. And there's the next chest. There was a guy next to us. How about, do we go for rerolls? Or I will just take them out of the way. 1 upgrade reroll, we don't need that, but you know what, I'll just take you. I like how the map points me at my mushrooms and is like, hey, there are your mushrooms, go back, stay with them. And I'm like, I have 10 FPS right now, I can't do that. So this is nothing we can use for a while, okay? But pretty much after 9 seconds right now, we would double our attack speed to 170. 170, okay? We guarantee, like we can go down to 50 attack speed with negative attack speed multipliers right now. And we would still reach the maximum cap in the game. I just went over all of the objects that we have gotten, and believe it or not, there are only 3 objects left that we need. But one of them is questionable. But that also means there's not a lot left. We're getting really close, but this may require a lot of objects because every single one of them is a legendary. Wait a second, we almost have the bonus attack speed, the final 10%. It's done! Wait, what? It's still not finished? We only finished 2 of them? We have 94. Oh god, I thought we had one before this. What is going on my screen right now? Why do I have 8 FPS? This shouldn't be this bad. Oh my god, there are a couple of mushrooms that spawned over here. I can't just go for rerolls and force legendary things in by rerolling often enough. I would say we need at least 6 rerolls though. I think it makes more sense if we just target the stuff that we want and get that ASAP, because we may genuinely run into the issue that eventually the game gives up. Like, even though the lag is not that bad, at one point the game just says, dude, I'm done. And in case you don't believe me, currently the game is at 4.7 gigabytes of RAM. It uses more than Chrome for me, because Chrome is at 2.1 gigabyte. And that is a very solid achievement to use more RAM than Chrome. We almost have the last quest for 10% bonus total attack speed. But you may notice, we have 93 attack speed right now. And the moment this is done, we get another 10% on top of that. 101 attack speed. This is actually perfect. Because I think the next turret that we get, the stationary one, will halve our attack speed. The boomerang doesn't change our attack speed. So we will be precisely on 100 shots a second, which is what I was looking for. Because I was told that is the limit. Now, it could be the limit is actually higher than that. But I don't know about that. This is what I was told. So this is what I'm aiming for. That is another skip, and that means next time we'll roll, and that also means now I can dash. We were at 700 damage. Let's see how much we get out of this. 50 damage would make me happy. We got 50 damage. Spot on. Like, spot on. Perfect. Hey, this doesn't sound like a lot until you multiply it by 14.5 times, and then you multiply it by our attack speed, how much we hit the enemies, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, yeah, okay, that is a lot of damage. Okay, I just read through all of them. There's nothing in there. This is what we want to see. This is actually perfect. And here is the alternative. It only reduces our attack speed by 30%. Maybe it's not that bad. No, it's quite bad, isn't it? Technically, this one would also help because it's turning around to a new enemy. Maybe. Let's get the turret first. Okay, let's put this down for sure. And then we just leave the turret behind so it doesn't create more projectiles. Scheiße, scheiße, scheiße. I have 7 FPS, 8 FPS, 10 FPS. Okay, we're doing better. So that means if I would want to go for the 30% reduction, I need to go for more attack speed. That was nothing. That gave me nothing at all. I would say we don't go for the one that reduces the attack speed by another 30%. Because we simply can't expect to get enough bonus attack speed out of level ups. And at this point I really should just take damage out of it to make sure we don't fall behind too much. There's the next chest. This could genuinely be it if we roll into it. Otherwise I have to skip to get more rerolls. Do we have we have 4 rerolls. This should be enough. Okay, there's nothing in there. Now, do we go for this? It will come back from the corner to the top right and go, for example, to the top in the middle. You know, that is a lot of travel time, and then it will continue as normal. So this would actually... Okay, you know what? I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's maximize it, because otherwise we have it on our mind that this was a thing we could have done, but we didn't do it, and we'll be upset, right? The good news is the game is still only at 4.7 GB RAM, so it didn't go up, which means all of my prevention acts to make sure it doesn't get too crazy have worked out. I'm very scared of what happens the moment I stand still and all of the mushrooms spawn around us with the turret that is there on the floor. Even right now, look at the screen, okay? Pay close attention to all of the bullets that you see. How many mushrooms do you see? Barely any, right? Most of the projectiles you see are actual bullets. That's because our turret is all the time shooting, but I'm moving. I don't generate a lot of, like, bullets. In other words, the entire lag that we are down to 10 FPS is 90%, if not more, created only by one singular turret that mimics our attack speed. I will not even get more damage. We have less than 1000 damage to make sure the enemies... I don't even have to roll. Again, this would be possible, but 20 projectiles compared to what we are doing is not even half a mushroom. Not even a quarter of a mushroom. The moment I pick this, we have to rush to the turret, sit there, and then let all of the mushrooms accumulate. Are you ready? I'm not ready. Let's go. Okay. I'm running there. I'm not dashing. I don't want more damage. We want as little damage as possible so the enemies don't get one shot. There it is. Okay. We have this turret. We have our other turret flying in. The mushrooms are being created. The mushrooms are being created. And keep in mind, the longer we stand still, the more enemies accumulate around us. Like, it doesn't go up, but it takes some time, you know, after you move. And when they get hit, we create triple the amount of projectiles every single hit. We have 3 FPS right now. We have 3 FPS. The game is at 5.2 gigabytes of RAM, which is very respectable. Look at the screen. We are down to 2 FPS. We reached 2 FPS. 5.8 gigabyte. 6 gigabyte. 6.3. Oh no, it keeps going up. 6.5 gigabytes of RAM. Oh my god. It must balance out eventually though, right? Do we have the max attack speed? Yes, we have. So there's not more in there. We have 7 gigabytes of RAM. Do you understand how long we were at 4.7 gigabytes of RAM? And now just standing still, the entire screen is projected. The game is now at 9 megabytes of RAM. And I gotta say, I am insanely impressed that it's still running. I really didn't expect this. Now, to be fair, okay, I've been walking for a while now, and it takes insanely long to even just walk up here. Like, it's actually ridiculous. I just wanted to... Oh my god, I dashed by accident. I just wanted to see if there's something in there that takes us to the next level. They grow in size. Your projectiles are 50% slower. How did I miss that? Okay, you know what it means, right? You know what it means. Not only are our projectiles pretty much not walking anymore. Okay, I need to get away from here. We have to restart the entire thing with way slower projectiles. So I spawned most of the mushrooms over here, and you may notice even here I have 5 FPS. And now we are going back to where we were because our stationary turret isn't moving. Like, we are forced to go back there, but I didn't want to have like all of the mushrooms already there. Okay, our other turret is flying in. Now the mushrooms are being created and our projectiles are slower than ever, which means there will be way more on the stage. And you know how I know how extreme this already is? We are already at 9 GB of RAM. This was the highest we've achieved before, and I think if you compare the screenshot or like the moments of before with how many bullets there were, we had this as the ultimate level, but we are still scaling up right now. Do we have max attack speed? We still don't have max attack speed, by the way. We don't have all of the mushrooms down. And we are 3 FPS right now. Just went down. Okay, we're about to reach the 100. We don't need to know more. That is the limit. There we go. We have the max attack speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mushrooms. There's one more possible. It just got created. This is the maximum amount of projectiles with the slowest possible projectile speed in the entire game. Yep, it turned into a proper slideshow. We did it. It is actually a slideshow right now. 9.5 gigabytes of RAM. I wanna hit 10 gigabytes. Come on, keep going up. The funny thing is, it actually goes up by quite a bit. It's like 100 megabytes of RAM every like 3 seconds. Yeah, now we're at 9.7. Just in case you don't believe me, by the way, here it is. Okay, I'll have to zoom in and maybe censor a few things, but here it is. We are officially at 10 gigabytes of RAM. And it keeps going up. It keeps going up. I just wanted to show that for the people that are always the doubters, like, oh, the Dex is just talking BS, you know, he's making up things, I don't believe him. Well, now you know you can believe me. We are about to hit 11 gigabytes of RAM. We had 11 gigabytes of RAM. What is happening with this number? Wait a second. Okay, I didn't want to show this again, but look at this number going up. Do you see this right now? We are about to hit 12 gigabytes of RAM. And 12 gigabytes of RAM. And now we have 13 gigabytes of RAM. You know what the beautiful part about that is? What this actually means is, it's getting worse and worse and worse what's happening in the game. Like, even though we can't identify what's on the screen anymore, and if you can do that, then huge respect to you, I can't. But based on this number, we know there are more and more projectiles being created, and not the same amount of projectiles that disappear. So, as long as we just keep this going, at one point it will balance out. At one point it will stay at the same number. But we are about to reach 14 gigabytes. Yeah, so I guess the next goal is 15 gigabyte, right? Have you noticed, by the way, that the entire time there was no chest that got dropped? Like, in this entire period, not a single boss has spawned that dropped a chest. This is how slow the game is. Which makes sense, right? Like, look at the speed of the game right now. We've been at 1 FPS since a while. If you take a look at the RAM counter right now, you may notice it is going up very slowly, but it's going up. It just keeps doing it. It doesn't stop, which means it may just be +1 bullet that gets created, right? But we officially reached 15 gigabytes of RAM. I will say I have a ginormous respect for the game that it actually somehow manages to still run. Game. Game. I'm wait. The music is gone. Well. But I really just wanted to wait until I said I'm proud of the game, you know, and I was like, Okay, finally, I can give up. That was it. It was torture. Release me, please. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, then don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like. See you the next time.